It was a tale of two halves as Manchester United emerged 2-1 victors over 10-man Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. It was the best of United. It was the worst of United. Am I right? Legends will know where I'm getting at, but not gonna lie. I was fuming in the first half. Fuming in the first half, but I was very, very pleased with what I saw in the second half. Again, game of two halves. Did you feel the same way? I want to know. That's what we're here to do. We're here to react to the match, talk about the performances, share our player ratings as United pick up another 3 points under Michael Carrick. We are going to kick things off with a little bit of news to start out with, though. So make sure you get involved. I want to hear your thoughts and your opinions. Like, please. We are on the road to 4K now as well. So make sure you subscribe. And if you are new, I want to know where you're from, how you found us, all that stuff. Let me know all that. Check the memberships as well. It is the best way to get involved in the content. WhatsApp group was popping off today during the match. Starting 11 Legends members, you can get involved. And shameless plug before we start. Today, only 30% off in the United vs. Everybody online store. There is a link pinned in the chat. So make sure you get big, big discounts today. I'm going to leave you guys off for a second. I'll be right back, but we are going to get stuck in. Let's go. What is going on? How's everybody doing today? How's everybody's weekend going? Bright and sunny today. Very, very, very cold. Very, very cold here today. But let me know how you guys are doing. Danny B's in the house. What's going on, Danny? How's everyone's Sunday going? Yes, please do hit that like button for me. I appreciate that as well. What a game. What a game. What a game. Let's talk about some news to start with, though, because we've got a little bit of changes coming up to potential laws of the game that I want to get you guys' thoughts on. Now, this has been confirmed from the BBC, Dale Johnson, but apparently IFAB has approved proposals for the following changes. So keep in mind, I'm going to read these out to you guys. For these following changes are going to become, because again, why can't we just go a year without everybody changing the laws of the game? So from now on, it's going to be trialed and then with provisional plan to introduce this in 26-27, so next season. But now, from now on, there will be VAR in kind of getting involved for corner kicks and second yellows. It will be trialed at the World Cup. So potentially, you know how up until now, second yellow we not really looked at. It was just straight reds. But now corner kicks and second yellows will now, because we don't already have enough delays to the game, right? Absolutely ridiculous. This is so unnecessary. We've also got, there's a lot of these changes coming up, so bear with me. So furthermore, much like the 8-second countdown for goalkeepers that was introduced recently, there will now be a 5-second countdown for throw-ins and goal kicks as well, and a 10-second countdown for substitutions. Now, this has already been trialed in the MLS, and if you violate that, if you're not doing, then you actually go down a player for a 1 full minute, 60 seconds before you get to replace. So basically, when you make subs, your subs got 10 seconds to get off the pitch. If you don't do it, they have to go off, but then you don't get to bring on your substitute for another minute. It's already happening, I guess, in the MLS. Another reason why I don't watch the MLS, but absolutely ridiculous. Now, again, the whole point of this is to address loss of tempo in matches, time wasting, things like that. I get that, but like, ref, just show a card from now on. You show a couple cards now and then, people will stop doing it. There's no need to change the laws every time we want to do something like this. If the case is where the time delay is violated or the sub, then what happened, like for throw-ins, for instance, if you don't do your throw-in in the 5 seconds or the goal kicks, it's a throw into the other team, or the goal kick becomes a corner, which I think is whatever it is, what it is. They're going to find, basically, they're trying to find ways to cut down on time wasting, on tactical timeouts for injury. Now they're going to make sure the players stay off for 1 minute now instead of 30 seconds, where it is currently is, especially when goalkeepers are injured. And we're finally going to get to see Arsene Wenger's daylight offside rule trialed in the Canadian League starting in April as well. So all sorts of fun changes to VAR. Again, VAR getting introduced now for corners and second yellows. We've got new time countdowns for goal kicks and throw-ins and substitutions as well. It's ridiculous. There are even plans, I'm reading too, to brainstorm measures to prevent players now from covering their mouths when they confront opponents. Now, we've seen this for years and years and years, players going and covering their mouths when they're talking to an opposition player. you see it even just before the ball's kicked. Sometimes players just line up in the middle circle. They know each other, maybe former teammates. They just talk to each other. That happens all the time. Um, to me, I get it. Obviously, with everything that happened these last couple of weeks with Gianluca Prestiani and Vinicius Jr. in the Champions League, Benfica, Real Madrid, that was a big ordeal, right? Why did he cover his mouth if he wasn't saying anything wrong? All that kind of, I get it. I feel like it's a little bit of a slippery slope sometimes when we're kind of over policing like things like that. I don't know, because how can you tell, right? So I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts. Are we changing too much? Are any of these little changes sound like good ideas to you? Have they been long overdue? Is it just let's just throw an EMP into all of it and revert back to no VAR, no goal line technology, no offside, like no semi-automated offside? I want to know what you guys think, because I think I don't know. The more changes you make, the less and less it feels like a football match sometimes. It's one of the things I love about watching footy is that there are no stoppages really, unless the ball goes out of play. Like it's smooth. We're getting into because this is what's going to happen. I feel like the more and more we start making these interventions, we're going to have commercial breaks during the VAR now, or like they do in the NFL or something, or we're going to have this VAR check brought to you by Progressive Insurance or some bullshit. Like we've already had the stoppage time and whatnot, like another insurance like State Farm stoppage time or something. We've already seen that kind of stuff. Instant replays get sponsors, and I'm not like I can't be overly critical. There were some of the things that I was introducing when I was with Livonia City in a way to kind of generate money. Do you want to be in charge? I offered like starting 11 sponsors, man of the match sponsors, every little thing you can do. Again, this is very different though. This is league wide, and what I was doing was club wide. But the Bossi's in the house. Big up. Landed by Shesko Airlines. Big up. Yeah, Shesko, man. Big up, you guys. But I want to know what your thoughts are on some of these laws. Any of them, yay, nay, just I hate everything about what they're doing. I do have a poll for you as we're going along today. So get your votes in on the poll. Let me know who you thought maybe was your man of the match. If you thought it was somebody not on the list, because YouTube only lets me put 4, let me know in the comments who your man of the match was. But yeah, a lot of changes coming to the laws of the game. I'm not a big fan, but we'll go on. Let's move on to the match, you guys. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Let's start with the team selection, because I think the big news of the day was that Benjamin Sesko got himself a start. We all wanted it. We've all been crying for it the last couple weeks. And there's a little bit of the Fergie in Michael Carrick and the way he's kind of keeping players hungry, almost to an extent keeping them a little mad. Like we saw, for instance, Ahmad coming on today and kind of having a bit between his teeth, right? He was getting stuck in. He really wanted some goals. He had a couple of good chances, a couple of good shots on goal. And we've kind of seen that a little bit from Shesko too. Now, I do think that tactics-wise, given the opposition against like Everton and West Ham, I do think Shesko could have made a bit of difference there, because we saw today what having a number 9 on the pitch actually does for us. You've got a player who actually is naturally, instinctually kind of patterned to take up certain spaces that guys like Mbeumo or Cunha just don't take up, make runs, get on the end of something. Like they just don't do that. And that's not a slight against them. It's not their position. And when you don't have a 9 on the pitch, the difference is very noticeable. But he does get his start, and it is Ahmad who makes way. Again, we kind of called for that in the preview. I know I did. I don't want to speak for you guys. You guys let me know. And it's not because Ahmad's bad, but again, it's a little bit redundant at times to have Ahmad and Mbeumo on the pitch, because they're both basically the same player. And against certain opposition, it just doesn't work that way. When you don't have the space to run into when you're playing against low blocks, even mid blocks, when you've got players who are about pace, there's not enough room to run into. It was a big problem that Rashford came up against, Garnacho came up against at times. When there's no space for them to run onto, their game is very, very limited. Morehouse, Tyler Fletcher on the bench again. So we're getting some youngsters in there. Malacia still being in the squad today kind of shows just how much work is needed in terms of clearing out. I mean, again, nothing personal against Malacia, but you didn't finish even like one season in this league. You've kind of been on the chopping block sale-wise for a number of years, and you're still here. And not only that, you're still in the matchday squad. It shows you that we have a lot of work to be done. No Licha in the squad again. No Mason Mount in the squad. No Delit, obviously, in the squad. So no Dorgu. We kind of knew all that. But no Licha. You guys worried about Licha at all, or what? You think that it's just a precaution? Yeah. I remember that story coming out, Danny, that he was all set. Was it like a Turkish club or something? I don't remember now off the top of my head. But I mean, but the point is that he's still here. And again, that shows that this is where we're at. That there was no plan to maybe strengthen or anything. If we're not going to keep him, what does him being here even do? Like, just put a youngster on the bench at that point. Could have gotten him, but now he's just going to walk away. He is on like 70K a week though, Malacia, so that is going to help. But again, the point is it shows where we are right now as a squad, that we think we've got depth, but we really don't in many, many ways when you look at who's on the bench and whatnot. So yeah, it is a bit poor. It is a bit more poor planning. We're not known for being very proactive. We're not known for thinking a couple windows ahead. We're definitely not known for being super ruthless. We're given rollover contracts to so many players, and we're hoping that Ineos might be different. Now, the people that they've brought in, the players that they've brought in, have been very good, I think, aside from like Ugarte. But again, we just got to do better, I think. But Dabasi says he was leaving. Malacia was supposed to leave, I think, in January, but we kind of pulled the plug on that one last second. So it is what it is. So that was team selection. It was tactics. Like I said, pretty much the team we all wanted. It ended up kind of being the team we all wanted when Shaw went off. We'll talk about that in a little bit because Mizraoui, obviously wanted him in the start, from the start, but not my team. I was not happy during the first half as we start looking at some of these numbers here. I thought we were slow. I thought we were sloppy. I thought we misplaced a lot of passes. We played a lot of heavy touches. Thought we were switched off a bit. Just not even like normal switched off where like defensively we're like, oh, we don't know who to pick up and all this stuff. No, it's just switched off. Like people were taking up the same positions as each other. They weren't paying attention to what was going on. Like there was a pass played and the person that was supposed to be receiving it just wasn't paying attention. Bad touches here and there. It was too many touches at times too, instead of playing a vertical ball to a teammate. There was a point too, I don't know if you guys caught this. It was just it was probably around the 30-minute mark. We won a free kick on our own half. Casemiro was brought down and we got a free kick. The ball goes to Yoro. The ball goes back to Casemiro. He finds Dallo. And Dallo, this is the thing about Dallo, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more. Dallo, I talk so much about position for Dallo. Like his positioning is, it's not only just where he stands on the pitch. And I think Jarvis and Stu at Tactical Devils have talked about this before as well. It's his body position when he receives the ball. So in that moment, he receives the ball, but he receives it on his left foot and he's on the right side. And instead of like kind of receiving it onto his left foot and pushing and like passing it, like touching it onto his right, so he can open his body up towards the goal, right? He turns back a little bit. Mbumo gets on his bike because he's waiting for a ball in the channel. And because Dallo has now got the ball on his back foot, now he's kind of, the weight's on his back foot. Dallo cannot make that pass because all his body weight's back here. That kind of stuff. It's little things. People, I think, underestimate how important which foot you get that pass on is, where you touch that ball. And like those little microseconds count. And I've said it time and time again. The timing is very crucial. And Dallo's positioning kills his timing, kills the moment, kills the momentum, kills the play dead in the water. And he does that over and over again. And I'm so sick of it, man. I'm so sick of it. Danny says, Maz made some difference coming on. Yeah, I don't know why we haven't seen him. Honestly, I really don't know why. Baba, welcome. Baba Bangu, big up. Says, why isn't Mano in the poll? He is actually maintaining the balance. Mano's not in the poll because I only have 4 in the thing. If you think Mano should be man of the match, let me know. But big up. Just because they're not in there doesn't mean they didn't have a good match. I only have 4 spots, and those are the 4 players I can think of. So let me see here. Baba says Carrick likes too much football. I don't know what that means. Let me know what you mean by that. Danny, yeah, how many times have I been saying that Dallo needs to be sold? I was crushed this summer when he was given Lindelof's shirt number. Usually that's a sign that he's not going anywhere. He needs to go to like Atletico Madrid, maybe Inter, something like that. I can't with Dallo right now, man. I cannot with Dallo. Baba says the 3-4-3 formation of Glasner was dominating. Yeah, Glasner. Again, I do think it was a lot of midfield. And like we said in the preview, Palace were getting that ball. They were going through midfield. Wharton is the guy who plays a lot, but then they were getting it wide. And they're kind of making a little bit of an X. Get it in there, get it wide, and then get it into the box kind of a thing. And this is what they were doing. And it was kind of overwhelming us a little bit because we were focused so much on covering that midfield space that our fullbacks, Shaw and Dallo, were way too narrow. and they were leaving space. We talked about how much Munoz and Mitchell were going to get in wide positions, and that's exactly what's happened. We gave away a couple of really good opportunities to Palace in the first 5-10 minutes because our fullbacks were too narrow. They were given acres and acres of space to their wingbacks, and it was getting on my freaking last nerve. But momentum wise, I mean, Palace, they started that match just with the bit between their teeth, man. They were all over us. Obviously, they got that goal. We pushed back. We started to get back into the match. We tried, I mean, we did well to fight back in. It was getting on my nerves. We just looked lethargic. It was sloppy. Was not happy about it. And Palace, I mean, they played the way they wanted to play. And obviously we came out the second half just ready for it, winning that pen, obviously getting that another goal. But again, the momentum does not make it look like we were the team that had a midweek rest, that because Palace just played on Thursday, right? You couldn't tell. Stats wise, this is the first half and the second half. You can see the big shift. I mean, our possession jumped nearly 10% from first, second half again because we got back into it a little bit. Our XG went up a lot. Palace's XG did not barely go up at all. They didn't really do much in the second half, Palace. And again, you can argue that the penalty and the red card, the sending off to Lacroix, had something to do with it. But I do think that you have to learn how to adapt to that kind of stuff as well. But again, first half, second half was completely night and day difference, man. Let's see, devices. They were fast. Yeah, they were all over us, man. Thought they were doing excellent job here. Baba says, I meant Carrick likes keeping the ball. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. We did a video a couple days ahead of Carrick's appointment, breaking down his tactics, breaking down the way he likes to play. And a lot of his inspiration comes from like Xavi's Barcelona side. Carrick does have a little bit of that Spanish, that triangle passing, that exploiting the space, some movement. We saw it at Middlesbrough. We saw it in a couple of these early matches too, against City, against Arsenal. Really, really well to get it. Really good job to get ourselves out of trouble, playing out of the pressure. Now in the last couple matches, it's just been the case of instead of Arsenal and City, sides who are a little bit more on the front foot, we've come against sides that sit deeper, the West Hams, things like that, the Palace today. I showed you that Palace do play with a little bit of that low block transition kind of stuff. So that's where we struggle, is when we're not able to kind of free flow and just kind of attack the way Carrick maybe wants us to do. But again, that's a test to him, as a manager in general, not even just consideration for United manager, but a test to him. How do you figure out, what to do? What's your solution when plan A doesn't work? You've got to have a plan B. And so it's a good test. But yeah, good call. We called. Yeah, we've been talking about that for a couple weeks now. Big up, Sanjay. Welcome. Please, guys, like the video for me. We are on the road to 4K as well, so please subscribe too. I would appreciate that. Tobias says all of Shesko's shots are on target. Yeah, Shesko, very, very. We're going to be doing player ratings here in a second. I'm just kind of going through the basic statistics on the match itself, showing you the momentum swing from the first half to the second half and things like that. Because whatever Michael Carrick said at halftime worked. I don't know if he got a blow dryer out and just set it on the table and didn't say a word, and the players just knew. Whatever you want to call it, whatever he did worked. It absolutely worked, because we came out a completely different side. But as you can see, yeah, percentage-wide, XG, shots, all that stuff. I mean, our shots more than doubled in the second half. Shots on target almost tripled. Big chances definitely tripled. We just kept going, and I love everything. I think the total shots, again, more than doubled. We had a very, very good second half, and I'm very, very pleased with it. And so more of that, please. More of that for sure. Let me just get my next slides up here, you guys. And make sure you vote in the poll. I want to know who you guys think man of the match should have been. So shout out early on to Xerxes. He had a couple of really silky touches to kind of get himself out of trouble. Times where he was getting swarmed and another player, maybe even on another day, we would have maybe lost that ball. But he just has this knack, Xerxes, sometimes for just sticking a toe in and nutmegging somebody and just finding it. Maybe that's the advantage of his size. I don't know, but I still think in many situations, particularly like aerial duels, he doesn't really utilize his size very well. Xerxes is a massive, massive dude. I'd like to see him use his physicality a bit more. And then Ahmad, I thought Ahmad looked very good in his cameo as well. You could tell he was up for it. He wanted to get involved. He almost had this point to prove to Carrick, like, I'll show you for benching me. Like, I'm not going to let you bench me at all. So, all right. But let me know overall what you thought of that. and what he thought of Xerxes and Ahmad. We're going to go through player ratings here one at a time because I want to know who had a good game, who was man of the match for you guys. Members, you do have your man of the match emoji, so make sure to throw that out there when we get to your man of the match. But let's get started with Sene Lammens. Probably could have done better with his positioning, I think, for Lacroix's goal. I mean, 4 minutes in, everybody's still kind of feeling things out, but and Lammens was kind of wrong-footed there, you could say. All of it, and this is the hard part with a keeper. This is why you see keepers jump up and down so much. It's that so you never have all your weight like consistently on one foot or both feet for more than like a split second. So you can constantly just jump, dart left, right if you need to. He was kind of wrong-footed there. I don't blame him entirely. All I'm saying is that his positioning probably could have been a little bit better. His teammates need to do better with clearing the danger there. And we'll talk about one teammate in particular in a second here. He did end up making 2 saves on the night, but that was about all he had to do, really, is just make a couple saves, claim a ball or two, and then that was it. It was just that one little thing. It tells you just how important little moments can be. Like I said, this game can be broken down into tiny little seconds here and there. A bad touch from Dallo, a switching off, a little shift of the foot from Lammens here and there, and that can somehow make the difference. You know, little things make a big difference, man. What would you rate Lammens on the day? Sanjay's going with a 6. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say average. I mean, just if he had more saves to make like he did recently, I mean, he had a lot of saves to make recently against Everton. Then maybe I put a push it higher. 5 for me is average. I'd probably go with a 5 for that one. Let's see. Debas says positioning. Yeah, just on that one, it's just positioning was just a little bit off. And that's what happens. He's shifting one way. The cushion header comes back the opposite direction. And if he had bounced, if his right foot was maybe down, he maybe could have darted, but the weight shift was just off. Basti gives him a 5. Yeah, most people go with a 6. I mean, 5 is average. To me, average is right in the middle, and 5 is right in the middle. So we're just going to go that way. You can call it 5.5 if you really want to get technical about it, but it doesn't really make a difference to me. But I'd probably go and give him like 5. We can call it 5 or 6, but average for me, just not because he did anything bad necessarily, just because he just didn't have much to do. Shaw, unlucky injury. Now, I'm not sure what the issue was. So it looked to me like the thing that kickstarted that whole decline for there was a bit of knee on knee from Munoz. And it really should have been a foul awarded to us. I mean, that was Shaw got the ball away. Munoz comes in late, knee on knee contact. I mean, it's a sore one for sure. It's definitely not fun, but again, it should have been a foul going our way in that instance. It is what it is. I thought otherwise, again, like Dallo, guilty of being caught too narrow when Palace attacked. But again, he wasn't really on the pitch long enough to make a huge impact, in my opinion. Wasn't really doing much else than that. I mean, some of his passing was a little sloppy and things. Positioning off the ball, like I said, not great. But again, we'll see what happens. Now, Michael Carrick said that both he and Maguire were actually ill, and they just weren't feeling well. So I'm not sure if he's just covering for him or what. The timing of the injury and then like the medical attention and then Michael Carrick saying he was ill. I mean, it's a bit suspicious in my opinion, but it is what it is. You guys know Shaw for me. If you queued in for the kickabout early in this week, Dylan and I had 200 million each to spend to buy some players this summer. Shaw was one of the players I would sell. I did end up going with a left back as well. You guys can go ahead and watch that video. Make sure you vote too after you watch that video. There's in the community section who you think did a better job, me or Dylan. So far, the right answer is winning, me, but let me know what you think. What are you guys saying for Mr. Shaw here? Danny's going with never mind. Danny's giving him a 4. Yeah, the positioning was just bad for him. He got a little better later on. He was getting a little bit wide, but the problem was, again, because Palace get those numbers forward in wide areas that I'm gonna move this to the other side so I'm not cut off anymore. There we go. Now I can move around freely. The problem was Palace were overloading and they were getting these underlaps while they were also getting the wings. So it was hard. We didn't have enough players back. And I think and I said in the preview that our wingers are going to have to track back and help out. So it was constant struggle. Sanjay saying 4. The Bossi's going 3.5 to 4.5, so 4. That's what you're saying. That's funny. Um, Danny says, hurt him a slap. That's what Carrick says. He says that they were both sick. I don't know if there's something going around. If you guys watched the Newcastle match yesterday, Jacob Ramsey ended up leaving like at halftime. He actually vomited on the pitch. Disgusting. I don't like vomit. If I haven't vomited in a while. I love it. I love having that streak. So we talked a lot in the last couple seconds about vomiting. I'm going to stop now, but so I don't know if there's a bug going around in the UK right now, but if people are sick, then that's a problem. But yeah, when you're in tight quarters, people have kids go to school, all this kind of stuff. Maybe for some people, the changing of the season is not great. Sometimes that can make you feel sick, but yeah, apparently they were sick. But so most of you guys are giving Shaw a 4. All right, we're going to do a special shout out to Mizraoui as well, because Big News had to come in. Probably, I mean, I'd be surprised if Mizraoui was even planned to get in here at all today. Who knows, though, with midweek match coming up. But came on for Shaw, did just fine. I thought he did really, really well. 4 out of 5 duels, made a couple clearances, got that ball forward when he needed to. You'd have to think now that he's probably going to start on Wednesday with Shaw being out ill. But we'll see. I think he should be starting regardless. Personally, Mizraoui, I think he's just all in all a better right back naturally than Diogo Dalot is. So I'm not sure what the issue was. He came back from AFCON. Maybe you could say, cool, we'll give him a week off, but like, I don't understand why he's not been playing. I really don't. It just doesn't make sense to me, because we saw when he first signed, Mizraoui was literally the best right back in the Premier League. He's like head and shoulders above Dalot in terms. What do you guys think of Mizraoui here? Danny's giving him a 7. Yeah, I'd probably go with a 7 for Mizraoui personally. Debassi's going with a 6. Sanjay's giving him a 7. Yeah, he's just better. He's got a bit of silk about him. I think I think that right back is definitely better, the best position for us now. It's so funny how just the difference that managers can make. Because remember when Amorim was here, we didn't know where to play Mizraoui. Center back, right wing back. He played both too, right? And so now that we're back to normal, he can't get a sniff, and it's frustrating me. And Danny says he changed the game. Big up. Maybe I should have put Mizraoui on the list, but if he is your man of the match, let me know. But yeah, I thought he did well coming on for Shaw. I think I'd like to see more of him. We'll probably see him play Wednesday. Do you think so? Let me know. Let's talk about Herodona. Harry Maguire had another good match. Good on the ball. Pass completion was solid. 5 out of 5 in long balls on the night. 6 to 7 for his duels. Made 4 clearances, 1 interception. Now, I worry that because he went straight down the tunnel when he was subbed off, is if he was sick, did he just need to find a toilet real quick? Is he painful? Is he just going in and getting head start on his recovery, on his warm down after the match in preparation for Wednesday? No Delit. Maguire, we're pretty much relying on. No Licha right now either. We don't have a choice. Again, go check out the 200 million rebuild that I did this past week, because you might see my solution for our center back situation. Spoiler alert. Go check that out. Danny says we definitely need 2 fullbacks, if not a fullback and a CB. Yeah, I mean, a fullback for sure, because the thing is, so Mezraoui can play both sides. Dalot can technically play both sides, but I'd still sell Dalot. Dorgu can play both sides as well. We have Kamason. We've got guys like Kukonki, who last season were in and around the first team. I don't know if they're fully ready, but in terms of depth, late 10-minute subs, I don't have a problem with that. I did put a fullback on that video, so go check that out. I will be doing a fullback transfer target video soon. This isn't a scouting report like the other scouting reports. These are fullbacks for Manchester United. So I'll have that video coming out soon. I've got my lists. I've got a couple left backs. I've got a couple right backs. I'm going to go through and break them down a little bit. So keep a lookout for that one. Probably save that one for the international break, though. You guys know we got to save content for the break because we got to fill the time somehow. But keep that in mind. I do have a fullback video coming out, and it's not just a scouting report. It is a full-on transfer target for United video. Dan is giving Maguire a 7. Yeah, 6.5, 7. Yeah, probably. Sanjay's going 6.5. Debassi's going with a 6. He took a point off for the clean sheet. Yeah, it's hard. Every defender gets a point loss for the clean sheet. If that's technically, you could take it away from everyone on the team, because defending definitely starts from the front. Danny's already throwing out his picks. So yeah, if you go watch that video if you want my pick for left back, I did end up poaching a relegation side for left back. Speaking of relegation side, how about Wolves, huh? Getting it done this weekend. So Maguire 6.5, 7-ish for you guys. Lenny Yoro, again, going back to Palace's opener, really should have done better for Palace's opening goal. He wasn't really paying attention to where the ball is. He was too worried and focused on kind of keeping Lacroix under wraps. Just almost had his back to play for a second there. When you do that, it's lights out for you. And again, he's young. Now he's young age wise. He's been playing first team football for a while, like 2.5 years now. So you'd think he's got that in him, but again, it's just is what it is. I've said that before. You guys are going to see some of those moments come out in players like Heaven and even Dorgu at times, even Shesko at times, because they are young. It is what it is. It's not surprising, but he wasn't great in his duels on the night either, Euro. So what strikes me with Lenny Yoro is that he looks like he struggles to shake off some of the mistakes he makes. So again, he probably knew he could have done better for that goal, and it seems like he just takes a little time to shake it off. Again, young player, that's going to happen. United, if you want help with that, hit me up. That's what I study. That's what I'm doing. You guys know that I'm a therapist. Yor was also guilty of being a bit wasteful on the ball, but most of us were in the night, so it is what it is. Debasi says a 4 for Euro. Yeah, I think the first half, I mean, you could almost give everybody a bit of a handicap in the first half and take off 2 points immediately and have everybody start from a negative position going into the second half because they were awful in the first half. Then it says 4 in the first half, second half 4.5. So most of you guys are going like 4.5, 5. Sanjay says 5. Yeah, probably around there. He just wasn't great. Then he says even defending right channel to cover Dallow's joke. Yeah, our center backs don't tend to defend very well. So, Danny, to your point earlier, maybe a center back who has and can play as a right back, maybe someone like Marino over at I want to say Villarreal, if I remember, or Valencia. I can't remember now off the top of my head. Kunde could be another one. Is another good example of that kind of stuff. Someone like that could be a good solution, but I'm not going to be too picky about it. Or they just get anyone from Arsenal because they take all their center backs and play them as right backs anyway. Bexy's in the house. Big up, Bexy says, I think if United get a win against Newcastle, they will get Champions League. Well, we are locked in third now. Obviously, we didn't make it easy on ourselves, do we? But we are in third, and we do have a bit of a cushion on the Scousers and whatnot. So big up. Yeah, Konza type. Someone who can play both of those maybe would not go amiss in my opinion. We got to get to it. I tried to delay it, but we got to talk about this guy because I'm so tired of Dogo Diallo. Where do I begin with this Joker? Could not complete a pass in the first half. Poor touch, too narrow off the ball, leaving Palace's wide players with acres of space to work with. Final ball, still garbage. There was points in time. You guys notice Dallow's making a lot of central underlapping runs, and he's taking up spaces where like a striker is going to take up, playing with his back to goal in the box and stuff during open play too, not on set pieces. And it's just leaving us so exposed. He is in too much of a hurry, Dallo, to get high up the pitch. He's shirking a lot of his off the ball duties, and we saw I can't remember what game it was. I want to say it was against Burnley or Villa. Like we were trying to see out the match. Maguire's on the ball, and Dallo, instead of making himself an option for Maguire to pass to kind of get out of trouble, Dallow's on his bike making a run. Like, bro, just chill out, man. You got to calm down. He's becoming a bit of a net negative, in my opinion, Dallo, when you look at the things that he actually contributes versus the things he hurts you with. He's becoming a net negative, very similar to Andre Onana in that regard. And I don't want to that's not me saying like he's as bad. I'm just saying Dallo has not improved in key areas. And because of that, he is starting to hurt us more than he helps us. He's getting on my nerves, man. Sanjay says Dallo's a 3. Yeah, that's probably fair. Danny agrees, going with a 3 as well. Sick of this bluffer. Debasi went one better, went to a 2. Yikes. Danny says if he's starting next season, forget about pushing for top spot. Yeah, Dallo needs to be sold. We'll make money on Dallo. It's like we didn't pay that much for him. I think it was like in the teens, I want to say like 12, 15 million or so. We'll definitely make money. So again, Atletico, some Inter, maybe someone like that. I think AC Milan, Juve, even I can see him going to Juve. Like, let him go, get some money, and either just play Mazraoui there, and we can get someone like Camison, or you need to get someone who's versatile, can play both sides. Or like Danny says, maybe a center back who can do both jobs and needed a pinch. But for me, Mazraoui's got to be the starting right back going into next year. Maybe go look at a new left back, let Dorgu and them kind of rotate, because Dorgu can also play right back as well. But yeah, Dallo definitely is like a 2 or 3 for me. He's just becoming a net negative, man. I can't stand this guy anymore. Nothing personal, but he's been here. He's the second longest serving player at the club, and he has not improved in a single area of his freaking game, man. Let's talk about Unk. Casemiro. So they're selling to Bodo. I don't know if Jarvis would want. I don't even know if Jarvis would take him at Bodo, man. Bodo don't need him. They're doing well in the Champions League. He'd probably drag them back out of the Champions League. Casemiro, guilty of giving the ball away a couple times. His one-touch play in his own half, bad. When he plays these little no-look cross-field passes like he did today, they don't end up finding a teammate more often than not. But his one-touch play in the final third, he and Bruno linking up, like, I thought that was good. Should have, could have, would have had a goal with his half volley attempt. Fair play to Henderson. It was an excellent save to deny him. 5 out of 8 long balls for Unk, 4 tackles, 11 of 13 duels today. Just a tidy, steady Eddie experienced performance from Casemiro, not exerting energy when it's not necessary, being in the right place at the right time, popping up in dangerous positions. If we could keep him on and just let him come on for free kicks or corners, I'd take that all day. But we will miss what he brings. Obviously, it's a player we probably should have signed a couple years earlier, but it is what it is. It's going to be difficult to replace him. If you want to know how we do it, go back and watch the kickabout from earlier in this week and let me know your thoughts on that one. So what are you guys giving Cass? Sanjay's, oh man, these are harsh. These are a lot harsher than I thought they were going to be. 4, you guys are giving him about average. Interesting. Did anybody vote for him in the poll here? So somebody voted. So somebody thinks he had a good match, but I'm seeing some low ratings. The Bossie's going 5. I'd probably give him like a 6. I think a lot of which, I think everybody in the first half struggled. Casemiro as well. I do think he stepped it up in the second half. It looked a lot better. And Danny's going 5 in his farewell season. Danny says Manu was better. Well, we're going to talk about Manu. So you guys are going 5. All right. The eyes have it. We'll go with a 5 for Unk tonight. But big up Cass. It is his farewell tour, and he keeps on ticking. Cobby. Very quiet in the first half. Again, like everyone else, a bit sloppy in the first half as well. Did manage to create a couple chances, though, 4 tackles on the night, and had some really good kind of on-the-ball work late on in the game as it continued to go on, showing off a bit of that composure, that press resistance, that footwork that we know and love from Cobby. Again, not anything sticks out from him. It wasn't like he had an amazing match. It's just, again, like everyone else, started off slow, got better as the match went on. We saw some peak Cobby. We saw some not so great Cobby. Sanjay's giving Cobby a 3. So again, a lot of this is going to come down to what sticks out in your mind, kind of a thing. Do you remember more of the first half, or do you remember more some of the other stuff? Danny's giving him a 6. Guilty, I think, at times from kind of drifting in and out of the game. But again, it was a weird first half from us. Debasi says he was a ghost, giving him a 5. Interesting. It's a bit mixed opinions. We'll call it 5. We'll split it and we'll say what's average for you guys. I don't know if, again, I definitely wouldn't go as high as like a 7. I definitely wouldn't go as low as, I would probably give it a 5, 5.5 personally, but nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's just the way you got to do it. Somehow you just have to, and like Danny says, the next point, when you saw the momentum, when you saw the possession, when you saw how much we were kind of just dominating the ball in their half, you do need players who are good on the ball, players who take care of the ball. And I thought as the game went on, Cobby showed what he can do. Again, nobody had a great first half, and Cobby's good for that. He's good. Even if he loses the ball, he's really good at tracking back and winning the ball. He's good against, again, escaping pressure, creating space for himself. And as he gets older, we're going to see that more and more and more. Today, it just wasn't a good first half, but Sanjay thinks he's overrated. Yikes. Harsh, harsh, harsh. Starting to rumble in the chat. Not his best game by far, Kavi, but I don't know if I would go as far as say he was awful or anything like that. So, moving on. Bruno Fernandes, the Magnifico. Where do I start with this guy? A goal and an assist from Bruno. Dylan shared in the WhatsApp group that 18 matches now where he's contributed a goal and an assist, only behind Rooney and Giggs, I think, as far as that is concerned. I've not seen that statistic mentioned at all until today, like how many matches a player has in a season with a goal and assist. That's the first time I've really seen it. Brings him up to 20 goals and assists in the season, though, which is amazing. I don't think any of us really have been paying attention to the numbers that Bruno's putting up this season because they are amazing. Third United player in 4 decades I've read to get both 100 goals and 100 assists. I mean, that's world class, by the way, because he's only been here, 6 years, 5.5 years. Created 6 chances on the night, too, which is more than twice as much as any other player on the day. Closing in on David Beckham's single season assist record. I think he's got like 1 or 2 assists to go, which he probably will with 10 matches left. Here's a question for you guys. Is Bruno a United legend? Let me know. Was he your man of the match? So far, 57% of you say Bruno was man of the match. Was he your man of the match? What are you giving our captain today? Sanjay's giving him an 8. Yeah, 8 seems pretty fair. I'd probably go 8. Was he your man of the match? Members, use your man of the match emoji. Let me know what you think about Bruno today. Danny says 7.5. The Bossy says 8. Yeah, about 8. 8's probably fair, I think. Which is hard. It seems harsh, right? That we're giving him an 8 and he got a goal and an assist. But maybe that just shows where our standard. We have high standards at this club, unlike some other people. Arsenal. Dubai says he never gives penalties to anyone else. I mean, you have a designated penalty taker. It's just the way it is. Now, I would like to see Bruno taken off corners because I thought Mbumo's corners were perfect. Bruno's corners, not good. He put one and went right over the net. Like, dude, stop taking corners. You're not very good at it. We need to get a very good corner taker. I'd love to get just let Mbumo take them all. Then he says Bruno was a headless chicken at times. My man of the match was Big Ben. So Danny's going Shesko for man of the match. Yeah, Bruno is one of those players, and I think in the first half he was definitely guilty of it, Danny. Things aren't going right. Bruno wants to make it. He's the one who wants to change it. He's the one who feels like he's going to do it. So he will go chasing the game. And I think that when you've got, it's not a bad trait to have as a player, but like most traits in football, in personality traits, there is a other side to that coin. So yes, you have that mentality, that leadership. I want to go make something happen. But again, you're kind of running around like that sometimes. It is poor discipline on that. So there's a good and the bad. So there's a light and a dark side to it, all right? And I think that Bruno is kind of exemplifies all of that in a single match. It's kind of like the weather in Michigan. We get all 4 seasons in one day here because it was 50 degrees Friday. We got 2 inches of snow last night. I hate the Midwest so much. Sanjay does not think Bruno is a United legend. I mean, those are some legendary numbers. I can't imagine a player having those kind of numbers, being so high up there in the assists, the goal involvements and stuff. I mean, he's up there with players who were here, twice as long as he was. I mean, that's insane. He's we don't deserve Bruno, in my opinion. Debasi says cult hero. Cult hero. I feel like when I think of cult hero, I think of guys like Park Ji-sung. I think of Ander Herrera. I think those guys, cult hero. Even Evra, I think to an extent, cult hero. Bruno's got it. Maybe if there's a category in between legend and cult hero, I think for me right now, that's probably where Bruno is going to be living. Maybe it'll be cult hero, it'll be legend, and then they get a statue would be the highest one. Hall of Famer, there's a good shout. There's one we can call it. I like that one. Yeah, maybe we need to give Cunha a run out at corners because I just don't like Bruno's corners. I never think that they're very good. He gets it's kind of like Dallo and crosses. 1 out of every 20 is a decent delivery. So ask Onana. Yeah, we don't want to talk about Onana defending corners. We did not hear the end of that for the entirety of that season. If you guys remember, if and you knew it was going to happen, and we get a little call like that that goes our way, and then everyone else uses it as an excuse for why we like it was everything always wants to come back to that one call, right? It's embarrassing. Um, and no, and this is a good point. I think this is a point most people come back to is he's not until he wins a trophy. Now, is that Bruno's fault when you don't win a trophy? Because I mean, if that's the case, then Steven Gerrard can fuck right off because he's not. He won one Champions League at Liverpool. Like what else has he done at Liverpool? I mean, Anderson, Phil Jones have more Premier League medals than Steven Gerrard. Yet Steven Gerrard's in Premier League Hall of Fame. Let me know how that works out. But so is it Bruno's fault that he doesn't have trophies other than what we got here? Some FA Cups. He's got one FA Cup, one Carabao Cup, a couple of Europa League like runners-up medals. I mean, those don't count. But is that his fault, or is it just the way the team has been, the way we've been kind of struggling? I mean, we've gone through so many managers that's and so many different players. I mean, if he had better players around him, I mean, we had Cavani here, we had Ronaldo here. Seems like he's doing better now that Shesko is here than anything. And he says he still won the Champions League, though. Yeah, but that's not Premier League, though. That's my point. So maybe club legend Steven Gerrard, but a Premier League Hall of Fame. I don't get why Steven Gerrard's in the Premier League Hall of Fame if he didn't win anything in the Premier League at all. Then he says, with a poor squad like us today, so I say Bruno not a legend yet. So we'll see. I mean, we're running out of time then if you guys want him to win a medal. I mean, Harry Kane didn't win anything at Spurs. Is he a Spurs legend? Maybe Spurs standards can't be the same as our standards. Maybe we can't talk about it like that. So Michael's in the house. Just dropped in to say hi. Still at the hospital. Your daughter, oh, she's coming home in a couple days. That's good, man. I hope that she's doing. I mean, hopefully that means she's doing better, right? I don't necessarily know what's going on. You don't have to tell us. It's not our business. But in any case, you do have the thoughts and the prayers of myself and everyone in the UVE community, man. I know that she's very, very lucky to have a dad like you popping in and obviously being there for her. And I know that for you, you're like, well, yeah, that just makes sense. But not every dad is like that. So big up, man. Thoughts and prayers for sure, dude. But welcome back, bud. I'm glad that she's gone home, though. Celebrate that, dude. Celebrate the victories in life, you guys. No matter how big and how small, you celebrate them. Every single one of them. So big up Michael and his daughter, man. What a little trooper she is. Yeah, we do have different standards, Danny. I don't know what I was thinking. The boss says they're surviving because of West Ham are terrible. West Ham, we're on a bit of a tear, and then they kind of got brought back down to earth, man. It's like a boxer who's just, I don't know why I'm talking about boxing. I don't watch boxing, but like they're getting beat and they put in getting a couple of good hits, but it's just not good enough. And then they just get dropped back down to the mat again. Like it's just part of it. So most of you guys are going 8 for Bruno. I'll go 8 for Bruno. Is he a legend? You guys let me know in the chat. Moving on, let's talk about Matheus Cunha. Very, very divisive player at United because this is the two arguments I see when it comes to Cunha is that the mentality, he gets it. Like he's a maverick. He gets what it is to play for the club up here, but then like positionally holding on to the ball too long. That's the other arguments I see. I think he holds on to the ball too long. I do like that he can carry the ball. I just think that it's a time, there's got to be some discernment there. There are times Cunha when he's got to pass and move and not just try to move. Like against Everton, he had that opportunity to play, and Shesko decided he wanted to try to take on 3 defenders, lost possession. If I'm Shesko in that moment, again, making a beeline right to Cunha, I'm picking him up by the scruff of his shirt, and I'm in his face, pointing, saying, next time you fucking pass it to me, or I'm going to drop kick you in the face. Cunha, though, done well today. I thought if you noticed, and Michael Carrick even mentioned this after the game, that he'd spoken to him a couple times. He did. If you notice, if you looked at his heat map, it was a bit wider today. He was hugging the touchline a little bit more. He was staying in the position that he should have been staying in. He did well to win the pen. Yes, as soft as it was still a pen. And this is the thing, Lacroix, you never want to give the referee a decision to make, especially in the box. So you don't put your hands on people. Yes, all these penalties are soft. Look at that goal that was chalked off in the North London derby the other week for Gabriel diving like an idiot, diving like Mo Salah in the box because someone just touched him on the back. Like we saw that get chalked off. Kyle Walker went down in the box, got Leach's goal chalked off for us last month or so. It's whenever you give the referee a decision to make, odds are it's not going to go your way. And they learned that lesson today, Lacroix. So hero to villain in a matter of minutes because he got the goal, came back from injury, scored midweek in Europe, and then got sent off. Oliver Glasner, Chris Richards, not too happy about it. Chris Richards tried to make it seem like it wouldn't have happened if it was not at Old Trafford. Keep crying, dude. But I mean, what happened to Oliver Glasner, by the way? Like, we've seen this with De Zerbi, we've seen this with Postecoglou. Like, one good season, it works out well, you get really, and then everybody figures you out. I don't. What is that? Because Glasner looked amazing last season. This season, he's been a shell of his former self. Saw it with De Zerbi again, Postecoglou again. Like, what is happening with Glasner, man? It's weird, dude. Let's see. Michael says, thank you. It's not been good, but she's mending. Oh, well, sorry to hear that she's going through it, man. Hopefully sounds like she's got some strength. What a tough little soldier she is, man. Sometimes you got to help her carry that toe, man. Just help her carry some of that. That's part of being the dad, man. Big up, man. Father of the year right here, Michael. Sanjay says Cunha gets a 6. Yeah, above average. Didn't do as much more. Like, it wasn't like the Arsenal match or anything like that. Arsenal and City, those are the kind of matches that are almost tailor-made for Cunha, the way he plays. Danny's giving him a 6 as well. Yeah, well done. Debassi's giving him a 6 for the performance and 1 for the dive. You get a 10 for the dive, 6 for the performance, yeah. So he did well to win the pen. 3 tackles, won loads of duels. Again, needs to pass the ball more, but I feel like I say that almost every week with Cunha. He's got to learn. I do see him kind of shifting into like a second striker, like Rooney, Gibbs White kind of role, if and when Bruno ends up leaving, which is why I opted for a left winger in my 200 million rebuild. Go watch the video again. I don't know how many times I've shamelessly plugged that, but go check it out. Danny likes Lacroix, good player. Yeah, I did a scouting report on Lacroix when he was still at Wolfsburg. This was probably like 3 years ago or so, before I was doing the channel. So when I had that blog, just scouting report blog, I did do a report on Lacroix. I like Lacroix a lot. He's a very good player. I really do like him. Let's see. Debassi says Glasner wanted to park the bus with no brakes. Yeah, it's 3. I'm not a huge fan. There's 2 kind of defenses I have a problem with. I don't have a problem with 3 at the back. I don't like 3-4-2-1 necessarily. I prefer a 3-5-2. Just because I like some, if you're going to play 3 at the back, I like a little bit of bulk in midfield. And I don't like high defensive lines I'm just not a big fan of them, which is why I'm leaning a little bit away from guys like Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick plays an incredibly high defensive line at Barcelona. And the more and more I see it, the more and more he sticks to it, the less and less I like it. But yeah, those kind of things I don't like. Yeah, please do hit that like button for me. Please subscribe, you guys. We're on the road to 4K. Would love to see us get there before the end of the season. I'm going to take a drink of water because it's really dry in here. The Cunha, most of you guys are going 6, 6.5, 7s. Leeds playing 3-5-2. Yeah, I like a 3-5-2. I think that's what Amorim should have done. But hey, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Moving on. Let's talk about Mbumo here. Not really involved as much as he probably would have liked, probably could have been, but he did manage to create a couple chances, win a couple duels on the night. He did end up kind of moving back to that 9 when Ahmad came on for Shesko late on, but he just wasn't getting involved. And you can tell he definitely does not like when he's not able to get involved. Not entirely his fault. We did struggle to move that ball forward, especially in the first half. We struggled to find him. But part of that is, maybe you got to find a way to get involved. Part of that is, as a team, we just need to do better. But it wasn't like it was bad. It just wasn't effective. Let's see. Sanjay says Mbumo 4, falling off a bit. And if you notice, it has kind of coincided with the type of opposition we played in the last couple of weeks. Again, opposition where you're not going to get a whole lot of space to run into. So, argument maybe looking back on the day in hindsight could be made that maybe this was a better match for Ahmad than Mbumo. And then maybe if we got up a couple goals when Palace had to start opening up a little bit more, then Cunha or Mbumo really exploit that. Again, buts and maybes when you look back on it, 6-1, half a dozen to another. But this is part of management, right? He's giving him a 5.5. Probably average, about average for me. And it wasn't like he did anything wrong. He didn't really do anything, unfortunately. The box says Mbumo suffers when opponents catch up to him or physically superior. He's got the pace. I think he's got that center of gravity that allows him to kind of stay upright and whatnot. It's just a matter of, is it going to be the best opposition for him to get the best out of him? The boss is going 5. Yeah, about average from Bumo. I mean, not really need to camp out on that a lot. So let's talk about this young man, Benjamin Shesko, Air Shesko, whatever you want to call it. What a goal! What an absolute goal! The header, perfect. You can see too throughout the first half, especially, we were using him as a bit of a springboard, as a bit of a link up, a link in the chain during we're instead of, like I said, against Everton, where we're hoofing it long, hoofing it to midfield, let Shesko win the header, let runners grab that flick on. And we're doing pretty well. We were getting some opportunities from it. And this is exactly what I said, why I wanted him to start. 6 of 7 aerial duels, 4 shots, 3 of them on target, 1 was blocked. 1 goal. I mean, he's becoming a match winner for us. How many matches has he salvaged some point? I mean, Carrick's winning run has Shesko to thank. Like, it just does. He's saved so many points for us. He gets into good positions, makes himself a nuisance. He gets those shots away. He's only behind Igor Thiago right now when it comes to goals in the league since the turn of the new year. He's in amazing form right now, Shesko. He's doing everything he needed to do. His first start under Carrick, and did just fine. It's a shame we didn't get the ball to him a little bit more. I do think that Palace just kind of dominated that first half a little bit, but he's doing excellent right now. Let's see what you guys say. Debassi's giving him a 5, so you're giving him an average. He scored a goal. He scored a goal, man. Or maybe you're talking about Mbumo. We'll see. Danny's giving him an 8.5. Big Ben, was he your man of the match? 41% of you say yes. We got 51 votes. We have got 41 people watching. How many likes? I better see 41 people, 41 likes as well, or else I'm going to cry a little bit. Only 10 likes, you guys. Come on. 10 likes. There's so many people watching, guys. Come on, let's get those likes hit for me, guys. I love to get to 20. It is March. It is the new month. So I should be able to give away 5 memberships if we can get to 20 likes while we're live. I believe in you guys. So I see 43 watching. I see a lot of votes in there. Only 10 likes, you guys. Come on, do better. Device is giving him an 8. That's Danny's man of the match as well. Sanjay's giving him a 7. Debasi, you got 8.5. Shesko lines is off. Debasi says his positioning is so good, defenders can't mark him. Yeah, it's the difference between having an out-and-out number 9 on the pitch. You've got a bunch of wingers on the pitch, and again, this isn't anything that's wrong with them, but you got a bunch of wingers on the pitch. They're gonna kind of make runs and take up spaces that wingers are gonna take up. Not gonna just camp out in the box or win those headers, or kind of make the little subtle arching runs off the shoulders into the half spaces like that Shesko is going to do, or any striker is going to do. I'm talking about your out-and-out 9s. Again, your Sheskos, your Evan Nielsen's, your Strand Larsens, these guys, your old school kind of 9s. Shesko's going to outjump literally everyone in the league, hoof it, and let him win the ball, which he did today 6 to 7 times. So I don't have a problem with it. But obviously he's very, very good. Some of you guys are giving him man of the match. Let's talk about Mr. Michael Carrick here. Not necessarily his fault that we couldn't complete a pass in the first half to save our life, but his halftime talk, you got to give him credit for that. We came out, we looked more direct, we looked more switched on, a little bit more focused, a little bit more locked in. So this is always the thing. Do you criticize him for the performance? Do you give him credit for the comeback in the second half? Little of column A, little of column B. Legends will get that reference. But I'd probably give Carrick today, probably give him a 7 just for the halftime. Whatever he said at halftime alone, I think was fine. You can maybe push it 7.5 for starting Shesko, but I do think that he should have started in the other matches. But if we're just going on this match alone, probably going with a 7, maybe 7.5. He has earned 23 points in 9 Premier League games as Manchester United manager total. So I guess this is coming from Opta Joe, and they include his previous spell as interim boss. 7 wins, 2 draws in his total time. Joint best total after 9 games of any manager in the Premier League history, which is only level with Ange Postecoglou, apparently. Surprise, surprise. If we win, or if we even draw on Wednesday against Newcastle, then the record will be his. The best points total after 10 games in Premier League history. That's saying something. I think those are the kind of things that go under the radar, I think, when people start to question, should Michael Carrick be given the permanent job? This isn't me saying give him the permanent job. This is just, again, one of those things to consider here. Danny's giving Carrick an 8, made the subs the right time. Yeah. Now, again, early on in his tenure, this recent tenure, we saw him kind of taking forever to make subs. He is doing it a little better. If we're only going on by tonight, I mean, again, a lot of what we were doing in the first half wasn't necessarily his fault. He made some changes. Obviously, some of those changes were forced with injuries. And then the halftime talk, whatever he said at halftime. Again, I hope he just walked in there with a hair dryer, put it down on the table, didn't say a word, and just gave them all like one of these, and then locked out, because whatever he did, it worked. I'm happy for it. So I would give him a 7. Dana's going with an 8. What do you guys think? Who was your man of the match, by the way? Let me see what you guys are saying here. Bruno is so far winning. I'll leave it open for a couple more minutes, you guys. Please, please, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel, you guys. It does help us get on the road to 4K. Check those memberships. Now, I think the red card to Lacroix definitely had an impact, but I think that even if you didn't get sent off and we still just got in the pen, judging by what you saw in that second half, I do think that the comeback probably was on. Again, I'm not predicting the future. I'm just saying we saw something in the second half, and I think that would have made the difference. Again, momentum is a big thing in this game. But hey, just like that, we're third. We are third. And not only in the table are we third, but we're third in goals scored as well. We've scored the third most goals in the league this season. We have jumped to third place. We've managed to not lose in all 5 Premier League games that we've gone down a goal as well. So that's something, right? And we pulled out the league double for the first time this season against Palace. Just we haven't done a league double all season, which is kind of sad when you think about it that way. But 6 wins, 1 draw in 7 matches this season under Michael Carrick. 19 points from 21 is not too shabby. Forest lost today. They are now just 2 points above relegation. Possibly Anderson on a cheap, just saying. Spurs were Spursy today, and now they are just 4 points above relegation. So Spursy. Arsenal did end up beating Chelsea again. Literally nothing from corners in that game. In a 3-goal game, nothing other than corners, and Chelsea didn't score at all. Yes, own goal was loaned to Chelsea ahead of this one. So Arsenal relying on own goals again. On to Wednesday, though, in Newcastle, which will be a bit of a test for us. They did just lose to Everton. They don't look great. Come back for the preview for that one. We'll be previewing that one. What are you guys saying here? 59 votes. Bruno is going to win this with 54% of the votes. So Bruno was your guys' man of the match tonight with a goal and an assist for our Magnifico. Josh X United Big Up says, we definitely need a new left back. We moved on from Shaw. Yeah, I moved on from Shaw almost 2 years ago. I've done so many left back videos, man. Big up, man. Welcome to the channel. Go check out my 200 million rebuild video from earlier this week. I do have another video coming out soon where I'm going to be looking at left backs and right backs that I think United should be looking at, because I do think we are in need of some help back there. Dana says we had Dallo, so it even things out. The Bossy likes doof. Yeah. So I poached the relegation side for my left back in that video simply because we're operating in a budget. But if you just want to look at some left backs and right backs that I think United should be looking at, I do have a video coming out. We'll be doing it for the international break because I do have to save some content for the international break. But yeah, Dylan and I did a 200 million pound summer spending spree video. He had 200 million. I had 200 million. We both presented our picks. We both ended up with 6 players. I think I went like 5 million over. Dylan went a little. Dylan was pulling on the poetry heartstrings. He was pulling on the nostalgia heart. I see what you're doing, Dylan. So, but who knows? But you guys, if you weren't able to catch the live, let me know in the comments. Who is your man of the match? What do you think of the performance and everything? We will be doing a preview for Newcastle later on this week. It's right around the corner, so it's not going to have a ton of time. Probably going to be Tuesday, although I might have to be busy Tuesday. I don't know yet. We'll see. But until then, you guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the start of your week if I don't talk to you then. Thank you guys for stopping by. Remember, last day to get 30% off in the United vs. Everybody store. There is a link pinned to the chat. 30% off everything, including the new Shesko shirts. Go check those out as well. There's hoodies, there's t-shirts, there's hats, there's kid stuff, women's stuff, all of it. If you guys got a lady in your life, there's some really cool cropped hoodies in there that the ladies are loving. So go check that out. And then check those memberships. It's the best way to get involved. We have a WhatsApp group for Starting 11 and Legends members. Those members can also contribute to scouting reports, suggestions, ideas for what if episodes, all that jazz. Want to give you guys as much opportunities to get involved as I can. The members are the best way to do that. But again, if you don't want to contribute to the memberships, you don't want to commit to that, if you don't want to go buy something in the store, you can always leave a super chat or a super thanks after the video, but always just look out for ways to get involved. I try to get you guys hooked up as much as I can. So Thank you guys for stopping by. Good to see some new faces. Michael, we're glad your daughter's getting home soon, man. Hopefully the recovery is not too arduous. But until then, you guys take it easy. Thank you for stopping by. I will see you guys on the next one. Later.